What's up? If you've been following along, so far this podcast has been in chronological order. Last year I traveled from January to September, and I recorded episodes in Asia, Europe, and Asia again. I've been editing and releasing stuff since I got back in the States and still have a bunch left to put out. In the meantime, I've really missed traveling, so earlier this month I went to Mexico, partly because, to be honest, it's cheap and close, but also because I've heard good things. 7 of my friends came along at various points to hang out, so this wasn't a solo travel thing, and it's not part of last year's long solo trip that I've been documenting. This is an out-of-order, non-canon bonus material bullshit, whatever. But anyway, I went out of the country, so I recorded an episode. For the first time, my good buddy Kevin actually joined me in person to record, instead of having to listen to me on Google Hangouts as I monologue to him about all the cool shit I've been doing in Italy or wherever, and he's in his apartment in the Midwest pretending to be interested. Kevin came to Mexico. He did it, folks. He did it. Another guy, my friend Paul, also came to Mexico, and he joined us on the recording. You might follow him on Twitter. His handle is Drill. Enough of the bad introduction. It's time for the bad podcast. The Bad Travel Podcast. Such a stupid fucking introduction. Such a bad intro.
Coqueta y no da nada, provocadora y nunca ama, trae minifalda y te apantalla, pero a la cama siempre le saca, satánica, satánica, satánica. Su primer arma son sus escotes para que caiga.
We got back yesterday from Mexico City.
Yep. Yeah.
And you guys were there too.
I was there. We were both there in that insanely massive line.
Oh, the line, yeah.
You just want to start talking about the line?
I was
Fuck Mexico City. Let's talk about getting back into the U.S.
I was impressed by it. I'm sorry.
The line is all I remember. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, let's work backwards. We went to Mexico City for 10 days.
Yeah.
We got back into the United States, and our first experience coming back from magical Mexico City.
One of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
Oh boy, and I can't wait to talk about it in detail.
Oh, yeah.
But let's talk about the United States, since that's what you want to talk about. Since you just jumped right in with your shit about the line.
It was impressive. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
We got back into the United States and immediately began experiencing, I guess, authoritarianism.
It was definitely like authoritarianism, yeah.
It felt like some Kafka bullshit.
Yeah, like a Kafka story that wasn't that interesting to read. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like most Kafka stories. Yeah, he has like 3 good stories,
Yeah.
and the rest are just like good ideas.
It was like a labyrinth of those ropes that they put up.
It was like
The
a
hotel
bank. It
ropes.
was like a bank line.
Yeah.
It must have been like 3 miles long or something.
We were on the plane the whole time. They're saying shit like, do not get your phone out at customs. You're going to have to take a bus and go over to like customs and be processed, which is like, always ominous sounding. And they drive us over to customs. We go through the longest hallway I've ever been in, just with like weird stock photos of like America, with just like
Oh, yeah.
papyrus font that just said America on it.
They had that photo. It was like four people, two white couples, in a red convertible on the beach. It's
had
like you're in America now.
Yeah, they had these like 2 50-year-olds hugging each other while operating a cotton candy stand. It was just really horrible to see.
Yeah, and so you're just like, great, and then you keep walking, and then we turn a corner, and there is the longest line I've ever seen, and it's not long in that it's like goes on forever, but it's just compressed down to like a snake game, like when you get to like the final level of a snake game.
It was a big room, but the line was bigger than the room was because of the way it like snaked through.
Yeah.
You were saying, like, how the fuck did they even design the line?
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
it was impressive. Like, you'd have to go to college for 4 years to make that line because of how much it crisscrossed, how much it went around. Like,
You have to be like fucking, what's it called? Kevin Spacey. What the fuck? What's that movie where Kevin Spacey's smart? K-Pax?
That's every movie.
No, the other one.
American Beauty.
No, the other one.
Is it the Usual Suspects?
Where he's like a math guy.
That's A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe.
You have to have like some kind of beautiful mind to design this line.
Yeah.
Because when we first got up there, first of all, there's like signs everywhere. There's like, don't get out your phone in customs because I guess you can't like film the customs officer because you might be a terrorist learning how to get past customs. But it also says, get out your phone and download the app to expedite the process of getting through customs.
Yes.
So yeah, I just
Conflicting
pretended
messages.
to download the app, and then I looked at my emails or whatever the fuck for pleasure.
I was afraid to get out my phone. I thought I would get tackled.
Yeah.
We got into the line, and it didn't look that bad when we first got in. But then we realized it was the line just to get the slip of paper to wait in the actual line.
It was the pre-line line.
The true line. The line's true form.
It was like really some fucking 1984 shit, because we were in line, and there were people getting pulled out of line and kicked out of line, and people were crying
Yeah,
because they
people
were missing
fucking
their
up
flights.
in line
Oh, yeah.
somehow. I don't know. You just had to like stand there and walk forward occasionally, and people were fucking that up, and the guards were yelling at them.
Yeah, yeah. There was that couple that got kicked out of line, and then everyone behind them in the line, which was all because like there's like 500 people behind them because the line is so compressed. They're all watching this one couple get kicked out, and then everyone started being like, "I better not get fucking kicked out," and like it just like people starting getting like stomping their feet, like demanding justice and shit. It was just like, yeah, it was fucking nuts. How long were we there? How long were we in that line?
Definitely between like an hour and a half and 2 hours.
Oh god.
The line started like developing its own like culture or mind or something.
Yeah. And because of how it crisscrossed and how the line actually crossed paths with the other parts of the line that it itself was, you would just see people over and over again. They would like be 5 miles away, but then like as they move through the line, you move through the line, they would come closer again, and you'd see them. You'd be like, "Oh, I saw them 45 minutes ago."
And they've changed. They've gotten sadder.
You could see people in the future and people in the past. I was you once.
Yeah. People come back, they're all grizzled and shit, like unshaven.
There was somebody in front of us that missed her flight.
Yes.
And then there was another guy when we were coming up towards the end. He was like, "Hey, I got a flight. Can I cut you guys?" And he was asking to cut us, but there were fucking 500 people between him and us.
Yeah, he was right next to us, but because, again, how compressed the line was, there are literally 500 people in front of him.
Yeah.
It's weird. You're in the line and you're moving, and the line is also moving on both sides of you and in front of you and behind you.
And then we got to the end, and you know how in like grocery stores they have like 30 aisles and only 2 of them are ever open? This was like a similar situation.
And all they did was stamp the fucking thing.
Yeah, the guy just had to stamp my shit, and he just like gave me a frown. Like he really enjoyed his life doing the shit.
It was cool though, like with the droning, like download the app, because it wasn't like a recording.
No.
That would have been better. That would have made sense. Instead, it was like different airline employees getting on, and so like at first when we first got there, it was like, "Hey, guess what? You can download the app." And it'll expedite your process. This is so cool. Go online. Get out your phone. And then, like, you know, an hour later, he's like, "You can go online. You can download the app."
They could tell nobody was downloading the app, and they were getting mad.
Yeah.
They were fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they were pissed in like Mandarin. They came in and they came on in French and became pissed in French. It's like, damn. But that's America. It's the great melting pot. You come into America for the first time and you get yelled at in different languages.
Yeah. Stock photos with papyrus surround you as like a guy who yells at you about downloading an app while you're in a 5,000 mile long line.
I think like it's a good introduction to our country.
Beautiful.
That's what this podcast is about, our country. Our wonderful country.
Yeah, the Yay America podcast.
The United States episode.
Yeah.
Let's get down to the bottom of it.
Finally.
How long did it take us to get to Mexico? Like 10 minutes or something?
I think the plane landed at our Airbnb, if I remember.
They didn't give a shit, yeah.
And the custom agent that handled us in Mexico, she was like a 20-year-old girl.
Yeah, they were all very young, yeah.
Yeah, they were like children. They were younger than us. Of course, like that fucking makes sense, right? Like their whole job is just to stamp shit.
Yeah.
Why the fuck you come into America and they're all like 70 years old, or they look like grizzled veterans of the customs office. It's like you don't need to fucking be experienced. It's probably easier than working at McDonald's. Just get anybody off the street, they can do it. Open more lines, you know? Why the fuck do you have to have these guys that are, I don't understand.
You get these young guys in there, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't stamp it right because I ate Tide Pods this morning," and just a bunch of clowns.
Yeah.
Millennials don't know how to use stamps.
Yeah.
No.
Too busy TikToking, I guess.
Kindergartners can use stamps, but like somewhere along the line, they forget how.
They lose their way.
Yeah.
That's why you need 20 years of training in the customs office before you can.
Yeah.
So are you guys glad to be back in the States?
Not especially, no.
Not after the places we saw,
Yeah.
which were very lovely and very affordable and beautiful and
Yeah,
friendly.
I really did glimpse a better life when I was there.
Yes,
You know,
I
like
would say so.
That's like my favorite part of like, I guess, traveling is like you go somewhere and after a couple of days you start to get an idea of like, oh, this is how I could live there. We started finding the places we like. Like we found the breakfast place we like. We found the coffee shop we like. We found the neighborhood we liked. And within a few days, it was like, oh, I could just move here and continue this life forever. And I would probably be happier.
We found like the fucking literal Garden of Eden out there.
oh yeah, no, just which one are you talking about? The
Yeah, which one?
Which one? 'Cause
Garden
there were
of
all
Eden
so
are we
many
fucking
beautiful-
talking about?
Which beautiful, lush park are you talking about?
Yeah.
But also people were using them, you know? And not
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
joggers. People were like congregating there.
yeah, it's just like, and there was like a ton of public space. There were people like hanging out, selling stuff. People walking. Their 2 dogs.
Side note, that's the thing in Mexico City. Nobody has just one dog. Everybody has 2 dogs.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to have 2 dogs.
We even came across that statue that was like 2 dogs.
Yeah, they had a statue of 2 giant dogs.
It's
Oh,
almost
yeah.
like this is the law. You have to have 2 dogs. You can't have 1 dog.
Yeah. No, it was. God damn it! I want to go back.
I would absolutely move there if I like knew anyone out there.
Yeah. No, it's
Like one person, I think would convince me.
it was about like 80 degrees when we were there most of the time, right? 80, 85 degrees in March.
Yeah.
It was great though. I mean, I don't know. I like the heat, so
No, I didn't.
Same.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad at all. I'm just saying, like, I have a tan now.
You know, we were coming from Los Angeles too, so it's not like it's cold here. Really,
Yeah.
it's like 60 degrees.
Well, you two were coming from Los Angeles, right?
Right, you were coming from
Oh,
St.
yeah.
Louis.
Yeah, I was coming from St. Louis. I left the day there was freezing rain. It was 20 degrees. So,
So it's really good turnaround for you.
yeah, no, it was.
But even then, like when we came back into Los Angeles last night, you were like, "Fuck, it's cold here."
Yeah, no, I was. It was like 50. It was bullshit because we just got back when we left Mexico City. It was like 90.
Yeah.
You know? I could still feel the sunburn on my face, like
Yeah.
from how like nice it was. Just like
Yeah. And since it's lower altitude here, you have all this extra oxygen bullshit.
it fucking sucks.
Sucks.
Yeah, it's
Hate
awful.
getting all this oxygen. Give me less.
It's
Too
less.
much.
I'm too oxygenated.
Yeah.
No, when we got in, we drove to. We stayed in Roma, right? I think we were technically in the
We
Roma.
were in Roma, as made famous by Netflix.
yeah. They have a theme park there now for the movie,
That's right.
but
The Roma experience.
They let you dress up like the characters from Roma.
yeah. And then when we got to the
Oh, we should talk about the Airbnb.
we got to the Airbnb, and it was really fucking nice.
Yeah, it was cheap. It was like $15 a person per night. Instantly, when we walked in, everybody was like, "Oh, Patrick Bateman ass place."
Yeah.
Fucking James Bond villain hideout.
With a guy with a button, that buttoned you in, right?
Oh yeah, there's like a security guard 24 hours
Yeah.
who gets a look at your face and decides whether or not to let you in.
Yeah. And then like you go up the stairs or up the elevator, and we open the door, and
The door is 15 feet tall.
it's 15 feet
That's right.
tall.
You walk in and the ceilings are 20 feet tall.
They're extremely high ceilings, like granite floors. I don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck. Like
There were 2 stories, and they were both extremely tall.
Very open, nice, lots of bright windows and shit. Just like
Floor to ceiling windows.
Every
Floor
single
ceiling
window in that apartment was also a balcony.
yes,
So you could
We had like 6 balconies.
yeah, you could like sit out there and stare at the balcony directly across from you.
that's right.
The balconies opened up into the building, not onto the street, but you just walked out into the balcony and you're inside the building still.
Yeah, you're in a giant shaft which leads to the parking garage.
Yeah. You can look down at the cars. And when you go down the stairs, you had a nice view of the street outside of the other set of floor to ceiling windows. And you had a nice view of the street from the shower as well. And,
Oh, yeah.
In the room I was sleeping in most of the time, we had to do shifts because there were too many people staying in the Airbnb. So sometimes we'd sleep on the floor and sometimes one of us would get a bed. But in the room I stayed in a lot, the shower has the floor to ceiling windows, and there's not really anything obstructing it except for like a thin grate or something over the window.
It's a piece of plywood
Yeah.
with holes drilled in it.
Yeah, it's like holes, and you look out, you can see through the holes, and you just watch people like pushing strollers and riding their bikes past. Like basically, your crotch is at their head level, so if they looked over, they would immediately see your genitals.
That's right.
And you're looking at them, you can see them clearly, and if they just knew to turn their head to the right, they would see your genitals. So it's terrifying showering in that fucking thing. Because at any instant, one person catches your genitals, and you assume, like, oh, they're going to be like,
Well, there has to be at least
hello,
one.
everyone come over here. Let's have a fucking town hall meeting in front of this.
Yeah, there's got to be at least one pervert in the neighborhood who knows like that's the source to see the nude people and is like staring out there with binoculars every day.
Yeah. No, I never showered in that one. I always took the hallway shower.
Yeah, same.
It's like I'm not.
I did shower in that one, but only like every 3 days. And the entire time I was showering, I was afraid.
Yeah.
So the first thing we did was we got in and we went to the Airbnb. And then when we walked out onto the street for the first time, I think like the stark difference between the United States and Mexico is like immediately obvious when you just see like how many people are on the street actually doing shit.
Yes, it's alive. It's very vibrant. I know. I was struck by that just even coming back to like Los Angeles, just like looking around. It's like, there's no one really on the street.
No.
You're only on the
not.
street if you're like mentally insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a Madame Tussauds advertisement or whatever. You're on the street, but like, Mexico City, like you walk out of the Airbnb, yeah, just all the time, at all hours of the day, people are out on the street doing something.
It makes you feel like you live like in a society or something.
Yeah.
It's like you live in a world. Going back to Los Angeles, I felt like I was leaving the world. But
Yeah.
in Mexico City, it feels like you're in something,
It's like living in the movie Avatar before everything goes south, I guess. I don't know. I never saw the movie Avatar, but
What the fuck are you talking about then?
that's how I'd imagine.
blue people?
Yeah, the blue people. I think they got along, right?
Are you calling Mexicans the elves from the movie Avatar? Or are you saying they're the humans and
I'm
we're the
comparing their ability to maintain a society of love and peace and harmony. I don't know.
elves? Have you seen Fern Gully?
I have not seen Fern Gully.
Kevin, have you seen Fern Gully?
Absolutely.
Remember the part where Robin Williams, he's the bat, he does the bat rap?
No, I must have blocked this out. No, what? I don't remember the bat rap.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah,
And remember the monster is like oil or something?
the monster's oil, and the monster's I think voiced by Tim Curry.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And he does a song too. It's really good.
Yeah, that was back when it was like the mid '90s when people were talking about saving the rainforest, and I think they saved it, so there was no need to continue doing that. Right? It's like,
Did they save it?
I think so. I think that sorted itself out.
But didn't that guy who just won in Brazil, Bolsonaro, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Didn't he say, like, I'm going to destroy the rainforest?
That was one of his platforms. Yeah.
That was one of his
no.
promises.
It's
yeah.
not good.
Elect me and I'll take this fucker down.
Yeah. That's-
Finish it off.
We need to have those, like, 90s environmental cartoons come back, like Captain Planet and Fern Gully.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to them. I guess people were just got done with it. I think we probably need them now more than we did back then, right?
We need Captain Planet to return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a reboot where he has a gun and he shoots oil executives.
Yeah. The power is yours. Yeah.
What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, people on the street.
People on the street.
People on the street. Even just when we were flying back into Los Angeles, and I turned to you and I said, hey, cool, we're at the level where you can start seeing people, you're about to land. And I looked over and I saw like one person and over miles. Just like, fuck. I forgot. Everybody in America is either at work or inside gaming.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or podcasting.
Or listening to podcasts.
Just for the listeners at home, I should note that on my podcast, we actually podcast outside. We're sitting in the park right now.
We're in the middle of traffic.
Yeah, we're contributing to society. Unlike you.
Yeah, we're on the bus doing this. No, what did we do? It was like the first day we were there.
I mean, we were kind of wiped out because we got up at like 6 a.m.
And we had like altitude sickness, and apparently after that we read that Wikipedia article entitled Altitude Sickness. So
yeah, we all self-diagnosed from the Wikipedia article.
I also diagnosed myself with a cluster B personality disorder.
That's right.
Thank you, Wikipedia. And then we found a restaurant that was like in one of those nearby. All over Mexico City, they have like these circles. I don't know a better way to describe it.
plazas?
Plazas, yeah. That is a much better way to describe it. When I say circles, it just sounds like something's floating in the air in Mexico City.
There were these giant metallic orbs.
There were rhombuses fucking everywhere.
I fucking hated
They
those.
spoke to me.
Don't go to Mexico City. There's shapes. Yeah, there's plazas everywhere. And we went to one nearby, and it's surrounded by like restaurants, and there's a park in the middle. People are walking their dogs and stuff. Lovely scene. And we went to a restaurant there, and we got like fucking delicious food. It's so cool, like come into Mexico City and immediately eat like the best Mexican food I've ever had.
What was I think it was like the 3 mole special.
I got the 3 mole special. I didn't even know there were other moles.
Yeah.
I thought there was just the one.
Nope. There's that, what was it, pumpkin spice mole or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The PSL mole.
The matcha mole.
The
green
basic bitch
mole.
mole.
Which isn't guacamole, by the way. It's just a different kind of mole.
Heyo.
Yeah.
Hi-yo! Yeah, I knew if I did that, you would whip out a better one.
No, that's no problem.
You hate my shitty impressions, so you have to step in. Oh, I'm a professional.
Yeah, it's no problem.
I've never done that voice, so I don't want to attempt it for the very first time here.
Who is it? I've never actually seen Johnny Carson. I just know that that's from it.
It's his sidekick, Ed McMahon.
Yeah, Ed McMahon.
I don't
He's
even
off
know
his-
if I've heard Johnny Carson himself. I've just heard Johnny Carson impressions.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at you expectantly.
Oh, we got a great show for you tonight. Like that.
Yeah. That sounds like a Johnny Carson impression.
Yeah.
I don't know if it sounds like Johnny Carson.
Yeah. I have no idea if that sounds like Johnny Carson either, but I think it's it.
He had this like bit where he like wears a turban for some reason.
Yeah. Well, he's like a fortune teller, so he would he would read the punchline and then do the setup afterward.
It's a good bit.
Yeah.
But I've only seen people make fun of that bit. I've never seen that bit.
Yeah.
Well, I think the main purpose of the bit was to make fun of the Indian race. So,
Yeah, I remember that now.
yeah.
But enough politics.
I think other than the mole, I don't think we did anything that night. Did we?
No. The altitude sickness.
The altitude
Yeah,
sickness.
we
The
were
self-diagnosed altitude sickness. That's right. Yeah.
Altitude
just-
personality disorder.
Yeah, that sickness just beat our ass in every conceivable way. Just made our legs weak, our stomachs hurt.
Yeah.
It's like the hyperbolic time chamber, is what I keep saying. is
It
you
is
get
like
in, you get in, and like everything's more difficult. You know.
And
And now we're back in Los Angeles at 0 sea level, and it's like, oh, we're really strong. I'm punching through walls and shit, taking in giant lungs of air and floating because we can hold so much.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I'm kind of flexing on it, you know.
Enjoying my newfound power.
It's right.
I read about how professional cyclists train at higher altitudes for months, and they their body generates new blood, which is super oxygenated because they were training at high altitudes, and so they withdraw their blood from their body and they save it, and then while they're racing, they inject their own blood back into them later because it has more oxygen, which sounds fucking crazy to me.
For cycling?
For cycling.
They make a Bane apparatus of blood to cycle?
Well, you knew that they do all kinds of wacky shit for cycling. Lance Armstrong gave himself cancer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Just because he wanted to lose his hair for wind resistance. Can you believe that?
I can't,
Well, it's a fact.
That's crazy.
It's an accusation that I'm making here. It's a legal... It's a threat.
It's an alleged threat.
It's an alleged threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I felt really weird when we first got in, and at that level of altitude, you only get 70% of the oxygen you normally get with each lungful, so you feel a little bit weaker. Someone said, "Yeah, you're supposed to eat more carbs," which not to brag, but I don't normally eat that much carbs.
Yeah. Where are we going to find carbs in Mexico? For Christ's sake.
It was a problem.
No, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't actually feel that bad when I was down there.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Did I look like shit? I mean, shittier than I normally look.
Well, there was that incident.
Which one?
The fish incident. Catch of the day.
Yeah. Catch of the day, yeah.
One of the nights we were there, Kevin, we went to a restaurant and Kevin ordered the catch of the day. And it was just basically all bones, right?
It was a fish fillet filled with bones, yeah. I took one bite and I bit down, and I'm not kidding. It must have been like 5 or 6 bones that I was chewing on, and I was like, yeah, I'm not eating this anymore.
Just crunching in between your teeth.
Yeah.
And you had to send it back.
I sent it back, and then I was like, what doesn't have bones in it? I know, a salad. And then I got the salad, and then I got the worst food poisoning I've ever gotten in my life.
You got terrible food poisoning basically instantly, and afterwards, for several days, you were like, it was the fish, it was the fish, it was the fish.
Yeah.
Catch of the day. You like mentioned it in front of like this whole group we had in Mexico City, and everybody was like, no, it was the salad.
In hindsight, that doesn't make sense that it would have been the salad.
It had to be the salad. That's what people mostly get food poisoning from, is like spinach and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Chipotle is always in deep water.
We were also eating at Chipotle.
Oh, yeah.
We only ate at Chipotle when we were down there.
But that neurovirus.
Yeah.
What? That sounds like something the Joker developed.
No, like the food poisoning was fucking horrific. And I was pretty much decommissioned for 2 of the days, I want to say.
Yeah, you stayed home while we went out and did shit.
I got some crazy antibiotics that like killed it pretty quick. So
Yeah, we went to a pharmacia in Mexico City, got Kevin hooked up with some shit. We don't even really know what it was.
it was some insane antibiotic.
You typed it like diarrhea into Google Translate and showed it to the woman behind the counter.
Right. That's right. I had to go to that's a fun fact. Because I don't speak Spanish, I had to go to the pharmacist. I had to open Google Translate. I had to
show her the word diarrhea.
I had to type, I have diarrhea, help me.
God help me.
And then turn the phone around and
Por favor.
Turn the phone around and I'm like, and she's reading it and she's like, and then like gives me a box of pills and just like, take this. I'm like, thank you. And I just like, by that time I was so weak from the food poisoning that I just went home, took a pill, and just collapsed. It was fucking brutal. I've never had food poisoning that bad, but I'm glad I had it on vacation in Mexico. It was tight.
Yeah, the sad part is, I think if you tell like your family or something, or people that would be like wary of going to Mexico, that you got food poisoning in Mexico, they're like, well, I'm not going to go. Even though, for the record, it's entirely your fault that you got food poisoning.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
100% agency.
It's not Mexico's fault. You
No.
shouldn't have ordered that fucking salad.
No, I shouldn't have. And I was just like, I wanted no bones. I wanted no opportunity for bones, and I didn't. I forgot about E. coli.
You should have just swallowed your bones and been happy about it.
Yeah, and to be fair too, because like that was the only time I've gotten food poisoning, I think, ever. And I got it at a very fancy restaurant in Mexico City where I got a spinach salad, and we were eating. What did I eat when I was down there? Corn fungus tacos.
Yeah, we ate street food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ate street food. I got some corn fungus tacos.
You ate fruit from the street.
I got fruit from the street. It was the fancy ass restaurant with like the.
I mean, we drank the water
drank the water
right out of the faucet.
Yeah.
No
Oh, yeah.
problem.
Absolutely.
And then you sat down at like a 4-star restaurant with lit candles and fancy waiters.
Yeah.
Like wearing a fucking bow tie and shit. You ordered a salad, instantly shitting your pants.
Instantly.
Pretty much.
It sucked. Yeah. No good. No bueno. Not fun.
Yeah. That's what you said to the pharmacist. No bueno.
No bueno. Yeah.
Diarrhea. No bueno.
Yeah.
I was also sick. Actually, I'm still kind of sick. I've had like a cold for the entire time we were there, which sucked.
Yeah, you lost your voice for like 2 days.
Oh, yeah. I was like talking like fucking The Godfather.
You were talking like Bob Einstein.
I was talking like Bob Einstein, actually.
You were talking like Super Dave.
The sad thing is it was really funny when I lost my voice because I sounded like Bob Einstein.
Yeah.
So it actually, everything I was saying like was getting way more laughs.
Yeah, no, it was really good.
And it's sad because I can't do that voice. I'm shitty at impressions. I can't do that voice even if I tried. So the only way to be that funny again is to lose my voice.
Good bit. It's a good bit.
Because when I would talk normally, it would come out like in a whisper, like this.
Yeah.
So I had to yell, which is, a whisper but yelling. That's Bob Einstein's voice. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Yeah.
Rest in power.
Yeah. What did we do that Monday?
The day after we got there?
Yeah.
On Monday, we went to the central area.
The big ass flag.
The big ass flag in the middle of the big ass field of concrete in front of the big ass cathedral.
It was still funny because when we walked in the cathedral, there's just that organ grinder. So you're in the cathedral and it's just flooded with organ grinding music.
That's called the Zocalo, right? Yeah, that's the like big main square in the old city. Because the cathedral was like fucking amazing, but it really is made so much stupider by the organ noise.
Yeah. You're like expecting like Gregorian chants or something, and you just hear this like really badly played like version of, I don't know, fucking Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or something, just flooding the entire
A lot of
thing.
them weren't even like actual tunes, I don't think. They were just like random notes, just throwing out whatever notes there and trying to like make a song.
No, it was really catchy. It was like the weird thing is, like, as they were doing it, you kind of start realizing, like, oh, some of these guys are somehow shitty at grinding an organ.
Yeah.
Because some of them didn't have a consistent speed.
Yeah.
You can actually be fucking bad at it. Another weird thing about the organ grinders is they all dressed like in military uniforms.
Yeah, they all look like admirals. Yeah.
It looks like the Mexican government sent them in to grind the organ to, like, I don't know, destroy terrorism or something.
A lot of them had like 2 hats too, because they needed one hat to collect the change.
Oh, yeah.
And one hat to wear so they didn't fuck up the uniform.
So that you can salute them.
Yeah.
Thank you for your work, sir. I would probably have tipped them if they actually had the monkey with the organ grinder, because in my mind that completes the package.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
You need to contribute to the monkey to get him some monkey food or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, well, some of them did have like stuffed monkeys on top of it, but it wasn't the same.
That was an embarrassment.
It's pathetic.
Yeah.
fucking bullshit.
Shameful imitation.
Full of gold too. There was that giant gold altar inside of it.
Oh, in the church?
Yeah, inside
Yeah.
the cathedral.
Big towerist. Is that a word? Towerist?
Yeah, that's sure.
But yeah, it was just huge, like 5 stories
So
tall.
good.
We were in the church. I like remembered how like crazy like Catholic shit is.
Yeah,
You know, because you had that gold piece had like a bunch of like fucking babies and angels and stuff, and their bodies are all melted together. It looks like some kind of fucking nightmare.
Yeah, there's that statue of Mother Mary on top of just a pile of infants.
Yeah.
Just like
It's like the final boss of every JRPG.
yeah.
And then right next to the Zocalo, that whole big square is like this shopping street.
It was a continuous flow. So that shopping street was probably what, 30 feet wide?
It's just a walking street, so there's no cars. It's
Yeah.
just people, but it was packed.
It was hard to even move, and 30 feet across, and the street went on for what, maybe like 3 miles, it felt like? I don't know.
That sounds wrong, but sure.
Yeah, 500-600 miles, and
Yeah.
and yeah, just filled with people, all shopping, hanging out, doing whatever. Music's playing, music's coming out from the shops, like people selling everything, just very like alive. It's like it's probably the busiest street I've ever seen, I want to say.
There were like the street performers.
The organ grinders.
Yeah, but there was also the
Oh, the golden guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a golden guy. There was like a drunk-looking bear, a big teddy bear with like a bottle and a.
Yeah. There was a guy. It was like he's from like that fucking. What was that movie with Mark Wahlberg and the bear? I think it was just like that character.
The Ted Bear.
Yeah.
I guess I was too busy looking at the golden cowboy because he had a gun.
I have a picture of him. I could.
He had
bring
like a
it up.
musket or something.
Yeah.
And you could take a picture with him, I guess, on your knees with the musket pointed at your head. Or,
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of photo you take with those guys.
No, it was cool. There's also a guy in a dress yelling. I don't know if, did anyone
A guy in a dress yelling.
There's
Was
a
that
guy-
a performer or an insane man?
I don't know, but he just kept yelling at the top of his lungs, just being like, "Ah!" like that. And I'd be like, I don't know what he's selling, you know? But like there were people around him like taking papers and shit, but he just every like 5 seconds he would just yell at the top of his lungs. And I was just like, I kept trying to look to see what it was, but we had to keep moving.
Well, there was a lot of yelling out there. Like in our Airbnb, there was a yeller. We couldn't
yeah.
identify him, but every morning he'd go like, ah, ah.
Yeah. And it would fade. He would also do like the little like fade at the end. Yeah, like what the fuck is that?
Just his daily ritual, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like being woken up by the rooster.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a screaming man.
I had no idea what he was selling.
He wasn't selling anything.
Yeah. Well, and then there was that creepy ass
It's like
truck.
the town crier employed by the city of Mexico City.
Yeah. You remember the truck with the mattress on it? That just played number
Oh, yeah.
stations or whatever?
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
creepy
Well,
ass-
there are a couple of those. Like Mexico City has like trucks that go around with recordings.
I
and,
think there were like that particular one was collecting junk or metal around town.
Okay.
There was also one that like said like I have water, in Spanish, obviously. There was another one that was like the fruit,
Yeah.
and there was another one that was like tacos, empanadas, delicioso. Also, by the walking street, there was like Mexico City's Chinatown. Remember?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We saw it from the other side of the street. We saw like the lanterns hanging up, and they had like the big wooden red thing that you walk underneath.
Yeah, like the Shinto looking thing, right?
Yeah.
Is that Shinto?
It's not Shinto, but it's a big red arc.
It's a big red thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should know what those are fucking called. I've been in a lot of countries that have those. Anyway, we were all like, dude, let's do it. Let's check out Mexico City's Chinatown. We were all so excited. And then we walk over there, and it's literally like fucking hamburger restaurants.
Hamburger restaurants, a tortoise shop.
Yeah.
No,
Except
it was like a huge stretch of it was like nothing but lamp stores. Just it was so bizarre. Like
Yeah.
every store was selling lamps and neon lights.
it like wasn't a Chinatown except for the red lamps.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause-
And also the hamburger shop, it had like Chinese characters on it.
Mm.
And in English it said like hamburgers or something.
Yeah, it said good hamburgers for you in English or something. And then there was no actual Chinese people in Chinatown, I don't think.
No.
Yeah.
There was like there were some like Mexican people kind of dressed up as Chinese people.
Yeah. Okay.
In
I
a
saw.
weird way.
I saw one Mexican guy. He was like posing for a picture and doing the thing with his fingers, with his eyes, kind of like making them, slanted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Doing.
Not good.
Kind of a letdown on the Chinatown.
Yeah. not the best Chinatown I've been to personally. but-
I've been to China and it's not like that.
Beijing, the famous tortoise shop. Yeah, famous Chinese tortoise.
We went to a lot of museums, but Mexico City has fucking awesome museums.
Yeah.
We didn't even make it to all of them, but we went to the one that looks like a fucking space artifact.
Oh yeah. One
Yeah.
that looked like a futuristic beehive.
Tsuyama, I think.
Yeah. The Carlos Slim Museum. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably the coolest one, I think, for me, just because it was architecturally insane.
Yeah, the building was great. And at the top floor there were a bunch of like statues all crowded around the biggest statue of
Oh,
three
yeah.
guys like bathing in the light of a sunlight.
Yeah. It was,
Life changing.
Yeah.
Did it change your life?
Not really, but it was really nice to look at.
yeah.
It made you decide you're going to become a sculptor?
Nah. It's too I can't get involved with all that clay and all that
Marble?
marble in this economy.
Yeah.
You have to be a millionaire to. How the fuck you just get a chunk of marble?
Yeah, how do you dabble in that shit?
How do you start being good? You fuck up once, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just like hammer wrong and the guy's leg falls off and you have to quit your life.
Yeah. It's like, well, that marble cost $100,000. Looks like I'm out. I'm going to do something else now.
There was also that level in the museum that was like all ivory shit.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fucking depressing.
Probably like 10,000 elephants died to make that.
Yeah. Incredible artworght.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Absolutely cursed artwork, though.
It was like a elephant museum. I think most of that stuff was from China, right?
It had, at least it had like themes like that, yeah.
Yeah, it might have been like the Chinatown thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very intricate carvings, too.
Little carvings of tortoise shops.
Yeah.
No, it was like dragons.
It
And
was
shit.
dragons, and they had built an entire like Chinese hillside village with like people like shops and stuff, and the people were maybe like 1 millimeter tall, and this was all built into one tusk.
It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, how did they do
I remember
this?
that.
Yeah,
It was such like it was incredible, the beautiful artwork, and then as you're looking at it, you're like, an elephant died for this.
yeah, and it's like it's not. I feel bad now.
A thing 40 times my size was murdered, and I'm profiting
Yeah,
in happiness.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I'm sitting here just enjoying my life.
yeah, it's.
I'm sure enough time has passed that the elephant would forgive us by now. He'd get over it.
Elephants are supposed to be like really intelligent, so I think it could use empathy to.
Yeah, the elephant would understand.
It's smart enough to understand. Yeah.
Yeah. The elephant would be like, "I'm glad that you killed me to make the little dollhouse."
If
out
we
of
could
ivory."
just explain it to the elephant would be like, "I will die so that you can be happy."
I think if the elephant saw the artwork, he'd be like, damn, that looks really good.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm glad I'm dead. Yeah,
it looks better than I did,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
If I could give my life to create this beautiful carving of a boat, I would.
Yeah. No, and then there was like all that Catholic artwork on the third floor, right?
Oh, yeah, the Catholic stuff.
Yeah.
The torture, the feet burning.
Feet burning, yeah.
Shit's boring.
Boo.
Sucks. Give me the elephant death.
Yeah. And I think after we went to Centro the next day, my favorite thing, honestly, which is the lucha match.
Oh my god.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Didn't even mention
Lucha
that
fucking
yet.
ruled. It was kind of a hassle getting into it because none of us really knew the process. But you go over to where the arena is, and as soon as the Uber pulled up, it was like fucking mayhem. There's like so many people on the streets, people yelling at us to like buy tickets.
Yeah, there were like scalpers and shit, like trying to take advantage of our absolute confusion.
Right. And then to get in, you have to go through 3 pat downs.
They were checking to see if you have a lucha mask so you don't run into the ring and start luchaing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we got into the arena, at first there were already like girls luchaing. There was like a 6-girl lucha match.
Yeah.
It was awesome. For some reason, the main move in girl lucha is boob slap.
Mm,
It was
yeah.
very beautiful and elegant how it was done, I think.
You sit down in your seats and immediately guys come over and are trying to sell you like popcorn and peanuts and lucha masks and
Yeah, and
beer.
Giant beers.
I bought them all.
Kevin got some beers.
I got some beers, yeah. Got some cervezas.
It was
Yeah.
awesome. Immediately, it was like it's just like pure entertainment. People in masks, boob slapping each other, throwing each other out of the ring.
Yeah, and they all had like intros like the WWE on this big screen in the center of the stage.
Incredible.
The intros were like the best part
Yes.
because some of the matches were like 6 or 8 person matches, so you just get to watch like 20 minutes of intros.
Yeah, the intros like made it clear like which ones were the good guys and which ones were the bad guys.
Yeah, because the bad guys were called like Luciferno.
Oh,
That's
man.
right.
Luciferno versus Blue Panther.
Blue Panther.
Blue Panther, who just looks like your uncle. He's got a fucking NASCAR 88
That's
shirt
another
on.
dynamic is like you can tell who's like the new lucha people versus the old classic lucha people, because the old classic lucha people just have like the mask in like pants or whatever.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
new lucha people, like the bad guys, are like wearing weird fucked up masks that look like all scraggly and shit, and are wearing a shirt that says like, what did that one shirt say?
Some like German variant of "suck it," I imagine.
Oh, it's the Kaiser of Hell.
The Kaiser of Hell, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the shirt that Mephisto was wearing. There's a guy named Mephisto, and his shirt said, "The Kaiser of Hell."
Do you remember Mystico?
Mystico!
Yeah.
He was like the crowd favorite.
Yeah, well, because he fucking he was Mystico. It's like, what is his deal? What's he about?
He was like upholding the tradition of lucha.
Yeah.
He was like the one thing that we could count on. You know, he
Yeah.
plays by the rules. He cares about like doing it the traditional way, and then he's facing off against this guy who's not even wearing a fucking mask.
Yeah.
This guy with long hair who's like sticking out his tongue.
One of them had a little man with him.
Oh, yeah.
He had a little man, approximately 3 feet in height, I would say.
He was wearing a bird mask.
Here's the thing about that match is it was like 3-on-3, except the other team had 4 people with the little guy, but he
Yeah.
didn't count, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was like him and his buddy. And
They were like one person put together.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he would like hold the enemy down, and then the little guy would punch him, which seems completely unfair.
Yeah. It was bullshit for sure.
It was
but
a strange dynamic.
Yeah,
very entertaining. Their music too was really good. I had no idea who had like that Requiem for a Dream music. It was like that was one of the funniest shits I've ever seen. Just da 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 da. You remember that?
They had that like, it was like choir music when he came out. It's like,
Yeah.
this is the evil guy or whatever.
This is the most badass dude you've ever seen. And he just comes out and he just looks like another lucha guy.
They all look pretty much the same.
yeah.
there was a guy dressed
not a lot
as
you could do with masks.
Mario.
Yeah.
He looked. I think he was neutral. I don't know if I could commit him to good.
There was
or
another
evil.
guy without a mask. For some reason, the people without masks are like older people. I guess they've been doing it for longer. Or
I guess they
something.
got like demasked at some point, and they just stopped giving a shit. Cause
I think once you're demasked, you can't put the mask back on because sometimes during the match, like there would be these suspenseful moments where one of the guys would be trying to pull the mask off.
Yeah.
he had to undo like 20 knots, and the guy was just like screaming and holding his face.
It's very suspenseful. He's like basically untying his shoes on his head, just like slowly undoing knots, and everyone in the crowd is like, "Whoa,
No, fuck no.
no, don't take off the mask!"
We don't want to see
As
him.
if it's not just gonna be some guy underneath.
Yeah.
It's not like it's gonna be the fucking president of Mexico. Like
That would be fucking tight.
that would be tight, but it's just gonna be some guy that you don't recognize. Oh my god, I can't believe a Mexican guy is the
Yeah.
is the lucha dude. There's so much suspense about the mask, but it's like an honor thing, you know? And that's why we love Místico. Because Místico this was the main match, right?
Yeah, it was
The-
Mystico.
The final match was Místico versus like Mephisto and
yeah.
the Kaiser of Hell, you know, and all those guys.
Yeah.
The bad guy team. And the first round, the bad guys won. The second round, Místico won.
Mhm.
And then the third match, all of us, the entire like group we were with, was all like, "Yeah, Místico's gonna pull through, right?
Yeah.
You know, what will the children do if Místico doesn't win? You know, it's like it spells the downfall for society. And the bad guys won.
Yeah, the 3 heels. They
That's
won.
right. They took him out.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. And they had Templaro on their team. So.
Templario.
yeah.
Which was the Knights Templar themed Knights Templar themed fucking lucha guy.
It was one time one of them went into the crowd and started like fucking with a guy, and then like Mystico got between them.
Yeah,
and
and
then
we were like, Mystico.
yeah, and Mystico hugged the guy, and everyone was like, "Yay!" And everyone started clapping for Mystico.
Yeah, because Mystico uses like the power of love and
for friendship and
and the other guy's evil.
Yeah.
The evil guy was literally like they had like these big monitors, these big screen so that like it would always show people in the crowd like cheering and stuff. You know, in the crowd they showed this guy who, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the guy they showed had like, is there like a more politically correct term for someone with Down syndrome?
I think it is just Down syndrome.
There was a guy with Down syndrome, and he was like, you know, lucha guy, and he had his like little hat on, Yeah. Man, that made it sound like I was making fun of him. A regular hat on.
No, go ahead. You're making fun of a guy with Down syndrome.
Yeah.
No. I said he had his little hat on like
Get his ass.
He was a boy. He was a man. He's a full man. He had his normal sized hat on. He's a normal man. He happened to have Down syndrome. And he was cheering like I'm not gonna do an impression of him cheering.
No, go ahead.
No.
I couldn't hear him. I just saw him on the TV, and he was freaking out.
I couldn't hear him either, but in my mind, there's a certain noise that a guy with Down
what is
syndrome
it?
makes.
Oh.
I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna cut this whole fucking thing. This ain't going well. There's a guy with Down syndrome in the crowd having a great time, cheering, and then the evil guy comes into the crowd and he's like, fuck you, Down syndrome guy. Your love for lucha is bullshit.
Yeah.
I hate the tradition of lucha. And furthermore, Místico, your hero, is a fool.
Yeah.
He said this all in Spanish, I assume.
Yeah.
Then Místico came up into the crowd and like kicked him out of the way and gave the guy a hug.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful moment.
It was. It was very touching.
The entire crowd stood up to see the interaction taking place in the audience.
Yeah.
Mhm. And then they all clapped and cheered.
Yeah. And that was the moment when we were like, Místico's going to win. And then they took it fucking away from us.
Yeah, that was kind of a huge fucking letdown. I was kind of hoping they'd do a battle royale at the end, just get everyone from every match just in the ring.
Just like 100 guys.
Yeah, all 100 lucha people.
People wearing gold, green, red, blue masks.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
fucking...
There was also that ref who didn't seem to do anything but get like into arguments with the players.
Yeah, that ref was not keeping things under control. It was starting to make me feel like lucha isn't legit, you know?
It started making me question. And
Yeah,
then I saw
the-
Mystico give
But
that guy a
he'd
hug.
get into like animated arguments with the fighters, and people would yell "puto" at him. Like 6-year-old guys in the audience would just like stand up and "puto."
Yeah.
It was really good.
That was probably like one. It might have been my favorite thing I did the whole time I was there, to be honest. Like, I know we went to a lot of museums and saw like, art.
Oh, great,
masterpieces.
art.
Yeah, but like,
Oh, what? Somebody painted this in 1830?
Yeah.
I'd rather see a body slam.
yeah, it was so much fun. The lucha stuff is so much fun.
The day after lucha, we went on a taco tour, and that was really good.
It was.
Yep. Moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah. We went on a taco tour. We met up with kind of a little slice of the world, right?
Yeah, there was like sort of the usual characters you see like on these walking tours, like in any city, which is like there was an Australian girl,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
which there's always an Australian girl.
Yeah.
There was this like young European couple. Where were they from? Austria?
They were Austrian.
Austria.
They're from Rats or Routes.
What was their deal?
I talked to the both. They're really nice. First time visiting, I guess, the Americas, and they just went to Mexico City, and they'd just been hanging out all around Mexico because they said they went to Oaxaca, they went surfing, they went to Cancun.
Right. They were doing that bullshit European thing of being in a country for a really long time and fully experiencing it.
Yeah, they use their very
Yeah.
very extensive social safety net bullshit fucking thing to live a fulfilling life instead of being ground into dirt. That's just the American way.
Yeah.
Shame on them.
Fucking rubbing their privilege all over us.
What a bunch of bullshit. I did talk to the guy though for a little bit, and he's a huge Cleveland Browns fan.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Why? May I ask?
I asked, why do you like the Cleveland Browns given that you're from Austria? And he said, I got really into the Cleveland Browns after they went 0-16 because they were the worst team, and and that appealed to me. So I got really into American football so I could, like...
I really like lose. I can't do a German accent.
yeah, I love losing. I love to lose.
I'm addicted to it.
Well, to be fair, he's Austrian, not German, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Close enough.
What do you say?
No, but yeah, he
I
was...
want to be subjugated.
So,
I crave it. It has never happened to me personally. I wonder what it would be like.
yeah, no. The guy loved the Cleveland Browns. It was the most inexplicable thing until he explicit it to me.
Yeah.
Told me that as because they were losers, and I was like, "Oh, okay." All
So
right.
it was like an ironic appreciation.
He had an ironic thing, and and in true stereotypical fashion, they spoke 5 languages, one of them being Spanish. And in
Yeah.
true stereotypical fashion, we didn't speak any Spanish.
The only people on the tour that spoke Spanish were fucking the Europeans who already spoke like 5 other languages.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We're trying to like eke out a gracias and like keep fucking it up.
Hola.
Yeah.
And they're over there speaking perfect Spanish.
Yeah.
In addition to German, English,
French.
bastards.
Fuck them. No,
What was it? They were both social workers also.
They were, and they
Yeah.
live fulfilling lives.
Not only were they like very like skilled and cultural and in Mexico enjoying a very long like true trip where they were like getting in touch with Mexico like in a gross way.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't just enjoying it in a superficial level like us, which is the proper way to travel.
Yeah.
Instead, they were really learning things.
Yeah.
Boo, fuck. And then on top of that, they were also social workers, so they're actually like moral people.
Yes.
They were
Yeah.
actually like good people.
Good people, and they were extremely cool, extremely like.
Not only that, they were fucking nice and cool.
Yeah.
Interesting and funny. You just want to shove them into traffic.
I know it was awful, but then we got to meet. Aside from the Australian girl and aside from the Austrian couple, there was the old New York couple, which
My favorite.
Loved, hilarious. They were both so funny.
They were retired, like a retired lawyer and a woman who used to be a social worker. A lot of social workers in our group.
Yeah,
And they had just been traveling for like years.
yeah.
Like all the time.
yeah.
And then occasionally returning to New York.
and well, she gave tours in New York.
As like a side gig, she's
She-
like a
she-
private tour guide of New York City.
Yeah, she.
And you got her card,
I do
right?
have her card because I asked for it because she's really funny, really cool. I remember like we were at that bar at the end. She ordered that like a margarita. They brought it out and she's like, "Why is it blue?"
Why is it blue? Yeah. They were kind of like stereotypical old New Yorkers.
Yeah,
But you loved them all the more for that reason.
yeah, they were just so funny.
And not only were they stereotypical old New Yorkers, they maintained that persona even though they had been fucking seemingly everywhere on the planet.
They'd always take cooking classes in every country they went to. So they just kept talking about how they would take cooking classes with the intent to cook the food, go back to New York and be like, fuck it, and never cook.
Yeah.
And just
They're
like,
like, well, you can't get the spices right.
you can't get, it's just not
Yeah.
the same.
They went all over like Africa and Asia,
South
and
America.
India. Yeah, I was talking to them about India a little bit, and they were like, "Oh, we did this great thing. We went on like an 8-day trek through the mountains. You should do it next time you were there. We had 8 Sherpas with us." And I was like, "I am not rich like you guys. I mean, I don't know if you guys probably don't realize that. You know, you're a cute old couple. I'm not going to get mad at you about it. If you were like 20 years old and hot, I would be fucking pissed
Yeah.
at you insinuating that I can do an 8-day guided tour with Sherpas. But because you're an old New York couple, you're kind of ditzy and out of touch, I'm just going to love you all the more for it."
Yeah.
We went to 2 taco places, and then we went to a pulqueria where they have pulque, which is like an old... What the fuck is it?
It's cum.
It looks like cum,
It's like
Oh,
drinking
yeah.
cum.
but it's like an old beer. It's like lightly alcoholic. It's like 3% alcohol.
Oh, yeah, almost no alcohol. It's got like a melted jello viscous consistency, kinda. Just not very fun to drink.
It comes in different colors, different flavors. They have like a strawberry pulque. Paul, you got like the famous queso,
Yeah, it was like white and it tasted like coconuts and pineapples, and
yeah.
but it was cheese.
it was not cheese. It was
I
named
pro- I
after
pro-
cheese,
I
but it
promise.
was not it.
Are you sure it wasn't cheese? To me, it tasted like yogurt.
It did not taste anything like cheese. And when I said queso the next day and tried to order it again, the waitress looked at me like I was insane.
Well, the other thing too is like the guy whenever he gave us the pulque, he was like, "Yeah, it'll give you a boner," and I was like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, on the menu of the pulque place, it says the Mexican Viagra.
"Yeah," and I was like, "I don't know if I want to drink this."
Yeah.
For the record, it didn't give me a boner.
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, but I have erectile dysfunction, so
Should drink more pulque.
We all do. We're from America. and-
Our dicks don't work.
yeah. That's right.
Our dicks are bad.
yeah, that kind of Viagra will only work if you're Mexican.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You only get a boner from pulque if you're Mexican.
that is what it said on the menu, right?
If you drink it and you're an American, it makes you impotent for life.
and blinds you.
Whoops.
Makes you bleed out your ears.
Yeah.
It was cool though. The tacos were fucking great.
Tacos were
excellent,
wonderful.
Yeah.
The pork shawarma taco or whatever, because they had that big spigot of pork. But
They had
Oh
a-
yeah, the
on a
big rotating.
It was on a spit. They don't call it shawarma though.
I know,
Kevin.
but it's the guy said he was like Lebanese immigrants came to Mexico in the 1920s and made and brought the shawarma technique with them, and
Yeah.
then we took it and we were like, okay, we're gonna make it pork, and then we're gonna spice it, and then we're gonna make tacos out of it.
Right, but it's called Al Pastor. So the Al Pastor tacos were fucking incredible. The best tacos I've ever had, basically.
Yeah, pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And then after that, we had those tacos like in a restaurant, and then we went to like this street taco place, which had fucking all the best shit that you can never get at like taco places in the U.S. Like they had tripe,
Tripe. Incredible.
incredibly good. They had like a corn fungus.
Yeah.
You could get with like queso, and they just like make it right in front of you. I fucking love that. That was my favorite eating experience.
That was really good.
I mean, up until that point in my life, I'd avoided tripe because it's kind of like a synonym for like crap or bullshit.
Yeah.
So it didn't sound very appealing to me. Yeah, they did something to this particular intestines.
Yeah.
Made it very good.
When I was eating it, like it tasted so good, I was like, I don't give a shit if this is giving me a bunch of parasites or anything. But it didn't, you know.
Yeah.
I don't really care what traveled through these intestines. Yeah.
I don't care if there was shit in these intestines 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
I'm eating them now.
I'm living in the moment.
Yeah. And then at the end of the night, we had like at the pulque place, you know, the entire group sitting around enjoying this, as Kevin said, cum type of drink.
Yeah, the cum drink. Yeah. That was good. Well, and then our tour guide started talking about politics, which is,
Oh yeah, our tour guide was badass.
and he was talking about their old president, Peña Nieto.
Yeah, he was like, we don't know where he is, but I hope we find him and put him in jail soon.
Yeah, he's talking about how he has a house right next to Cristiano Ronaldo in Madrid, and how if he ever comes back to Mexico, they're going to throw him in jail. I was like, tight.
What else did we do in Mexico City? We did the famous Mexico City tradition of we sat in our Airbnb and watched Face Off.
Oh, yeah.
Face Off.
So
yeah.
good.
Good Lord.
Such a great movie. It's the first time I've ever seen that movie.
I haven't seen it since I was like 8 years old.
Yeah. I
And
was in a
watching that
similar-
movie when you're 8, it's so much more like plausible.
Definitely. Yeah. In a child's eyes, it's all like normal shit happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, the government has a hospital that can like transfer faces. It's completely normal.
Yeah. The exposition, too. It's just like, John Travolta, we want to take your face off. And he's like, okay.
And then they took his face off, and he looked in the mirror, and he freaked out and punched the mirror.
Yeah, that was throughout the movie. He just like look in mirrors and punch them to break them.
And this man is clearly mentally ill, but the FBI is still prepared to send him on his mission.
Yeah. Well, it's like he was looking at a picture of his son that got murdered at the beginning on that carousel, and he
Yeah.
saw his reflection was in the
Also,
picture.
about the opening scene, the murder on the carousel, it's so like unintentionally funny.
Yeah.
There's something, it's just the way it's shot, and it's just like it's in slow motion. They're on
Yeah,
a
yeah.
carousel.
The
There's
kid laugh reverb.
there's
Oh, yeah.
children laughing, but it's like the far away reverbed laugh. So it's like, you know, I guess it's supposed to make you feel like sad or something. I don't know, but it's just so funny.
It wasn't sad enough that a child is getting shot with a sniper rifle. So they had to,
That part was
spice
funny.
it up.
And after Nicolas Cage accidentally assassinates John Travolta's child, he has like this look on his face that's like kind of like a whoops.
Yeah, he's like, shit. Yeah.
Did I do that?
Yeah.
That's a movie that like I know what the concept is. That guys trade faces, but I thought while watching it would make more sense. They would like walk you up to it in a way that was like plausible, but instead it's even stupider. We caught this criminal, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
We're gonna take his face off. Like that's just, there's no lead up to it. It's just like we're gonna take his face off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna put your face in a floating vat directly next to his hospital bed. So if he wakes up, he'll immediately see your face floating and that he has no face.
And he'll figure it out.
And then he'll immediately go, well, I guess I'll put your face on.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. They just left him unguarded
Yeah.
in a hospital bed. He wakes up. He's like, well, I guess I'll kidnap the doctor that traded faces. He immediately knows how to do all this shit,
Yeah,
which makes
he,
no sense.
yeah.
He goes, he gets his goons, he kidnaps the doctor like 3 a.m. He like gets him to do the face thing, and then he
And then
kills.
Fucking murders everybody.
Yeah, and they were the only people that knew about the secret face-off facility
Right.
and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mission.
Yeah. John Travolta's teammate is like, this is a secret mission. And he's like, can I tell my wife? And she's like, no. And he doesn't ask why.
Yeah.
He doesn't, there's no resistance. She's just like, no, you can't tell her. And he's like, oh, well, all right. Nicolas Cage has a son. And then at the end of the movie, when John Travolta as Nicolas Cage kills Nicolas Cage as John Travolta or whatever the fuck, he takes Nicolas Cage's son and he brings it home to his family. He's like, look, I got us a new son
Yeah, I
to
kidnapped a
replace the
child.
son that Nicolas Cage killed.
I got this son full of criminal DNA.
Yeah. I stole a child that looks vaguely like the child that was murdered, and I didn't tell you about it, and I hope you're okay with it. And it's like, cool. Yeah, sure.
It's like adopting a puppy. Just like
Yeah.
bringing it home.
It's like, yeah, this is our child now. And then the other thing is like the lead up to, because at the end, like when John Travolta rounds the corner, it's like wife is waiting on bated breath to see if he has his face again, as if like there's another option, like it could be anyone else. And he like
They found a third guy that had
Yeah.
his face ripped off too.
yeah, just rounds the corner. It's like Steve Buscemi. It's like fuck. Yeah, just bring a fucking kid home. And at the end too, he's like when he gets his old face back, he like tells the doctor, he's like, Doc, go ahead and this is after he's stolen the child and therefore filled the gap in his heart by kidnapping another child. He's like, Doc, I want you to remove the scar. I'm better now.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're not.
I don't need the scar anymore from when I got assassinated and my son died. I have a new son.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
stole a child. You can get rid of the scar now.
I need you to transplant the scar onto my new child. Can you do that?
Can you do it, Doc?
Doc, can you assassinate my new son? That way I can keep the scar.
So it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Was it well received back in the day, or?
I think it won the Oscars.
Oh,
I
All
think
of
the
them.
Oscars were invented to honor that movie,
Yeah.
if I remember right.
There should be more movies that stupid.
I agree.
You should just let
Why not?
like 12-year-olds write movies.
It's brilliant.
Two guys and they trade faces. For what? It's never explained.
What's it called? Face Off.
The bad
Oh, I
guy
get
fucks
it.
the good guy's wife, and then when the good guy meets
Oh,
his wife
yeah.
again, he's just like, hey, I understand.
Well, you forgot the part where John Travolta playing Nicolas Cage tries to fuck his own daughter.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh God, dreadful.
The weird part is in the movie, they sort of like, they linger on the daughter, and she's like, kind of like, wow, dad's pretty sexy now.
Yeah, he like goes in a room and starts smoking. Is like ogling her. It's like the most uncomfortable scene I've ever seen in a movie. And yeah, his daughter's like, wow, dad's fucking cool now.
Yeah. The weird part is at the end of the movie, like, you know, when everything is fixed, like, one of the things that was fractured at the beginning of the movie is John Travolta's relationship with his daughter. She's a goth.
That's right.
She's a 90s goth. She's smoking cigs and she's hanging out with bad guys.
Has a nose ring.
And then during the course of the movie, bad guy, Nicolas Cage as John Travolta, smokes in the house, beats up her boyfriend who's trying to like fondle her, who's played by the guy from that 70s show.
Oh right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the guy with the afro and the sunglasses.
Yeah. Who in real life does that shit.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like
Apparently, yeah.
he's like a bad man.
Okay.
So Nicolas Cage beats him up, and then he teaches her how to defend herself.
The fucking butterfly knife. He like pulls one out and does tricks. He's like, here, stab it in the thigh and twist it. She's like, okay.
So the relationship gets fixed between them by the bad guy, and at the end of the movie, for some reason, it's still fixed.
Yeah.
But that was a different guy that
Yeah.
you liked. It
Yeah.
makes no fucking sense.
No, it doesn't. But he had the same face.
What's the lesson there? That the bad guy that's trying to fuck the daughter is fix the relationship?
It's like the Tiger Mom style method of parenting or whatever.
Yeah. Well, there was like a fucking writers meeting about that. Like, wait, you want him to try to fuck the daughter? And they're probably like, no, it's a different face. It's a different face, different body. Same face, different body. So it's not really your dad. So it's not weird. It's like, no, it's still pretty fucking weird.
No, but then the weird part is that it does fix the relationship.
Yes.
So the lesson
yeah.
there is if you try to fuck your daughter, it'll make her healthy.
Yeah. So if you want
It'll make her stop being goth.
Yeah, if you want to fix a relationship with your kid, trade faces with another man that sucks, and then have that guy hang out and try to fuck her, and then when you come back with your face back from that guy, she'll like you.
Yes, correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. Anyway,
Yeah, it's a great movie.
it's a great movie. And after that,
Well, you went to bed, I believe.
no.
Oh, okay.
Back to Mexico.
Mexico.
Right. We also went to Tijuana, the temples.
I didn't. I had fucking food poisoning.
You had food poisoning.
I went. It was very nice.
Paul came. How's that place pronounced?
I have no fucking idea, and I was hoping you would research that so we don't look like fools.
Teotihuacan. Does that sound right?
Tijuana Namakan.
We went to the temples anyway.
Yeah, the pyramid of the Temple of the Sun, I believe.
That was a pretty cool time because that's like the only time we like actually got out of Mexico City and sort of into the countryside.
Yeah, that was good though. I mean, it was a hell of a hike to get up there. Like the stairs were fucking enormous.
They were like basically vertical. There's a bunch of people like fucking Instagramming and doing that bullshit at the top.
Uploading their YouTube videos,
Hey guys,
going wild. There were like dogs like on top of the pyramid somehow. Like at least one dog climbed all the way to the top, which seemed ridiculous to me because it's so steep. There's nothing up there for them.
there's
Is
nothing
there?
up there for us either.
There's a nice view.
When you talk about like the temples, it's like it's cool to look at. You get a good view, but there's not really anything there. You go there and it's like it's tourists and there's people selling garbage.
Yeah.
There were like guys selling like little noise makers.
Oh, the Jaguar shit.
Yeah, like it sounds like a Jaguar.
Well, it
'cause
sounds
they're,
like a shitty version of a Jaguar, but
They had like the noisemaker that sounded like the bird.
it was like a falcon or something.
It was like a falcon screech. And when we were climbing up the temple, I was like, oh, fuck, there's falcons here. I knew there wasn't jaguars. I'm not a moron.
That was
But
such a
I thought
shitty-
there was falcons. And when
Yeah.
we came down and we just saw like these old guys
like 40 different guys selling the same shit.
selling the same jaguar and falcon noisemakers is like such a letdown.
Yeah.
The temples are surrounded by just like these restaurants. It's just, I don't know. Temples are cool, but all the shit
Fuck
around
restaurants.
it. Fuck restaurants. No, I don't know. I was kind of hoping there would be more to it. Like, you get to.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd get to like go inside one.
I was hoping there'd be like some kind of weird
Hoping
maze or.
there'd be a dungeon or like a boss battle or some treasure.
What else did they have there? Like, that's it. Like that and bathrooms
like
and
a-
restaurants.
Tent, a 7-Eleven style tent, which sold like ice cream bars and bottled water.
Yeah. So that's all we got from the temple. Basically, was like ice cream.
That's right. Pretty good ice cream.
Yeah. I'm making it sound like I'm pissed off at the temple. I'm not. I had a good time.
The temple was very nice.
Temple was good to look at, but it's kind of like you go there and you look at it, and then that's kind of it. You get back on the bus.
That's it.
I don't know. Maybe we fucked up, and there was actually some really cool shit to do around there, but I suspect not.
Yeah, we just like blew our load by immediately climbing the biggest temple.
And then we were all exhausted.
Yeah.
And then people had to recover with ice cream.
That's right.
Had to get back on the bus and go back. That bus put me right to sleep because it was like really shitty. There's something about being on a bus and it's just like hitting a bunch of fucking potholes and stuff. And it smelled like diesel.
Oh man. So yeah, that probably gave you brain damage too.
Just try and give me more brain damage. It's going to happen. I'm kind of okay with the fact that we didn't like leave Mexico City and go on any like day trips or anything because Mexico City's so huge and there's so much to do in Mexico City that I never felt like, oh fuck, we're in danger of not doing enough shit.
Yeah.
Like that Austrian couple went up and down Mexico, but we could have been in Mexico for a month instead of just 10 days, and I don't think we would have run out of things to do.
No. Well, Mexico City, is it the largest city in North America? I think it might be.
Is it
I think
bigger
so.
than L.A.?
Yeah, I think it's bigger than LA. I think it might be bigger than New York.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Like population-wise or...
Population-wise, yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know, but I'm not
Well,
going to look it up.
Yeah. No, but I think that's true.
Yeah. There's no way to find out.
Yeah, we'll never know.
If you zoom out in Google Maps, it looks big. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I know. It was definitely happening, though.
It's not even just that there's like a lot of stuff to do, but within Mexico City, there's a lot of like the areas are pretty different. Like we stayed in Roma, like you said, and it kind of has like a almost like European look to the buildings, but like the downtown has a different look to it.
Mm-hmm.
The Polanco area is like corporate and new, big
Yeah.
buildings, giant fancy malls.
Yeah.
The Zocalo area in the central district, different from the area in the south we went to on our last day.
Oh, it was beautiful, yeah. I remember that. When we went to the Trotsky Museum.
We were going to go to the Frida Kahlo place, but there was a huge line. It was just like,
Oh, yeah.
Too fucking long. It's like you saw the blue house and you're like, yeah, I get it.
yeah,
You
you
know.
see it from the outside. I don't need to wait in line with these idiots.
Yeah. Trotsky Museum, we got there, like, you know, we went up, we're like, can we get a ticket? And you're like, you want to buy a ticket to get in? You know? To see this? You know,
Yeah.
it was like
It was Trotsky himself. He's like, please.
yeah. Oh, please. Thank God. I needed this. Like, yeah. No, like, yeah, Trotsky's museum was like very vacant. There was not a line to get into the Trotsky Museum, but it was very cool because they had like old cartoons.
So all the cartoons that people drew for him or of him and his friends and enemies.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. I actually enjoyed that a lot. The 1940s caricatures.
The political cartoon game was definitely a lot better back then.
Yeah, they had that badass picture of like Lenin holding like a cartoon bomb.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the abstract painting behind him.
He looked like Wario.
he did look like Wario. He looked like a character from like an 8-bit game that you would get on like Switch as like from the Play Store, you know? Just kind of a weird villain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
It looked like Dr. Robotnik was like based on that drawing.
Whoever the bad guy in Bomberman is, I think it's just a different color Bomberman. But
It's Lenin.
yeah.
That's who it is in the Bomberman games. Yeah, no, it's like the Trotsky Museum, way less crowded than the Frida Kahlo Museum, so no one gives a shit about going to see Trotsky, which is funny. But they built like a main building before his actual house that you go in.
It's like an art gallery, and there's photos of him.
Artifacts.
It's cool to see like this old Russian guy hanging out with a bunch of like Mexicans in Mexico City.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were like pictures of him with Frida Kahlo.
Well, I think they dated, right?
Did they?
I think they were just bang buddies.
Or were they bang buddies?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they just banged it out a couple times.
Yeah.
Get it out of their system.
Cool.
Friends with benefits, so you're saying.
Yeah.
They live
Yeah.
like 2 blocks from each other, so
Yeah.
why not?
Makes sense.
They're both celebs.
They
Have that in common.
That's how I describe Trotsky. He's a celeb.
It's just a proximity infatuation. It's like, I'm Trotsky.
You're Frida Kahlo. Yeah. I led the Red
Both
Army.
alive at the same time. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. Yeah.
They were the Biggie and Tupac of their age.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
They said that about themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. His museum was like, yeah, just
Like
full,
Tupac, he also got assassinated.
also
yeah.
unlike Biggie. Yeah.
We were in the room he got assassinated in.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It's like there's like a plaque that said Trotsky was murdered right here, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
They had pictures of his body.
yeah, it
Oh,
was,
yeah,
Remember?
they had the
Yeah.
murder pics.
yeah, with him just like after he got ice picked in the back of the head, just like, oh, this is gruesome.
Youch.
Yowza! That's a yikes from me. No, like, yeah, it was his house was like basically a bunker with like bank vault doors into every room.
Yeah, the windows had like these iron shutters.
Yeah,
Yeah. And in this house, there were also at the museum with us, these girls like in their early 20s taking cool Instagram selfies and shit.
that's what Trotsky would have wanted.
Trotsky died for your sins.
Yeah, they were taking like selfies next to Trotsky's old Colgate tin.
Yeah. His old glasses, his old Russian
I
dictionary.
guess for the entire time he was in Mexico, like all the plaques were like the entire time he was in Mexico, he was writing about Stalin.
Yeah.
He was so mad at Stalin.
Very mad.
Yeah.
Very mad. His unfinished unfinished biography of Stalin that he was working on. It's just
He's like,
That's what
Stalin was born and he was really dumb.
yeah.
He's born to an ugly idiot, and then
That's the one that would have taken Stalin down.
It's finally got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess Stalin got mad about it, because he
Yeah.
sent that guy to go kill him.
because he was writing his own autobiography. He's like, I can't let this happen.
Yeah, Stalin's biography was
It's
like,
like the Fire Festival documentaries conflicting with each other.
Stalin
Yeah.
wrote a book about Holodomor or whatever
yeah,
called "If I Did It."
yeah, yeah. I don't know. It was weird. It was a good house though. Had like a petting zoo.
It's a good house.
Yeah, there were rabbits.
Yeah, there's like a little.
They forbid you from touching the rabbits. It was not a petting zoo. It was
Did
just
someone
like-
talk to you?
Well, no, there were like signs that said, like no to car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what that means, so I can do it.
You like pet the rabbits and they're like stop and you're like, I'm a Stalinist.
Those rabbits
okay.
had it good though. They had like big piles of fruit and vegetables.
Oh yeah. It's a good place to be at the Trotsky Museum getting jealous of a rabbit. Wish I had that rabbit's life.
You could buy the Trotsky mugs in the gift shop.
You could get a Trotsky mug, a Trotsky shirt, favorite Trotsky earrings for
Oh,
that
that's
special
right.
that special someone.
Very lovely.
Will you-
Engagement present.
Darla, will you trot marry me?
I trot love you.
Trotsky loved merch.
He sure did. That's what he loved more than anything.
That's the main difference between Trotskyism and Stalinism. Stalinism, no merch.
Well, Trotsky was the first brand that it's like the Twitter brands that remind you to drink water or whatever. Love yourself.
Right.
It's cool though. Trotsky led an interesting life.
I hope I live a life like Trotsky. I don't want to get murdered with an ice pick, but I just mean in the sense that it's cool to be exiled and living in another country in a
Yeah, he
compound.
was
Yeah.
exiled like 40 times on that one map.
Yeah, and unlike like people in this country that live in compounds, he had a reason to do it. you know?
Yeah.
It's like why are you living in a compound? It's like, the second most powerful country is sending assassins to kill me.
Good reason.
I mean, that's pretty badass.
Yeah, kind of. And you're like, what are you going to do about it? And he's like, I'm going to write books calling the guy that runs the country a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm going to
hell
get
yeah.
exiled for my Twitter posts and be living in Greenland or some shit.
I'm going to try to be Julian Assange's roommate. He's going to be so pissed that he has to share the Ecuadorian embassy with a guy.
You're going to have to be like, Julian, take a shower. Julian, clean your dishes.
Julian, I swear to God, this is my favorite cup. I told you not to drink out of it.
Julian is definitely like a peas in bottles because he's too busy on the computer kind of guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Just slowly deteriorating as the Ecuadorian ambassador tells him to clean his room. He needs to read that Jordan Peterson book.
12 simple rules for
Dating my teenage daughter.
12 simple rules for dating my all beef diet teenage daughter.
Oh man, I forgot about that. Yeah,
My daughter smells like cow shit because all she eats is beef.
yeah.
And she's hot.
Eating nothing but beef sounds fucking horrific.
I agree.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
glad we can all take away the same lesson.
All his other ideas are good, though.
No, everything else
Yeah.
checks out. Just that
We did the
one.
science on Jordan Peterson. Turns out he's right about everything except for the beef.
It's inexplicable. All of our charts just say he's rad.
Yeah.
Having a hot daughter cures all your ailments. It's not the beef diet, it's the daughter.
Yeah,
Thank you, Michaela, or whatever her name is.
it's Mickey.
Mickey. Really?
No, I
Mickey
don't know.
Peterson?
Jared Fogel Peterson.
Yeah.
Anyway, segue. What was your favorite thing in Mexico City?
I'm gonna say the people.
Oh man, fuck you for
People were fine.
Yeah.
We talked to probably like a total of 10 people. They were all
Each more
nice.
wonderful than the last.
Yeah. We didn't really make any friends or any of that.
No, not really. I mean, I know I got that lady's card.
Well, I mean, we were exiled, so
Yeah. We were a lot like Leon Trotsky in a way.
Yeah.
You know, in our spacious Airbnb.
It is cool, like being in Mexico and feeling like an exile in some way. It's like, oh, we got to make it here, and then you get all your shit and you have to leave, and it's like embarrassing. You know, like on the last day when we had all of our luggage with us and we
Oh, yeah.
dragged it to that restaurant to eat a meal before our flight.
oh yeah,
It's just like, yeah, we're not living here. We're just transients.
people tripping on our bags and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like we're getting kicked out of the country. You feel like a failure.
Yeah, I used to,
Should have just stayed there.
yeah.
Should have set down roots and lived in Mexico City.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, fuck it. You know?
The rent. What is the rent at a place like our Airbnb?
I think it was
You
probably
know?
like $1,000 a month.
Yeah,
Which is what you pay
that's good. Yeah,
in Hollywood.
for like one room.
Your place in Hollywood is basically your apartment surrounded by human waste and
Some of it's dog waste. Come on, be fair.
How close are you to like the Walk of Stars and all that?
Like several blocks away.
Oh,
I'd
okay.
say.
yeah, it's right at the epicenter of like shit.
Good shit. Yeah.
Every day you go to the wax museum. You're like,
Every
damn,
day.
they're
They
still
add new
waxy.
guys every day. Because the old ones keep melting, and they just have to keep adding new guys.
Holy shit, I didn't know Don Knotts looked like that. This is the best wax museum ever. I don't know. It's hard to say what the favorite thing about a place is. I don't know. It was when I think back as the images roll in my head, all I see is just greenery. I see flowers. I see busy streets. People.
Wow, you're so poetic.
Yeah. I don't know.
People on the street.
Ba-da-dee-da-day.
People
Yeah.
of all races and creeds and ages, like getting together to play a wonderful football game.
Yeah, all yelling at us to get out of their way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were sitting on the side of the football game and they were kicking it at our head.
That's right.
It was wonderful.
I do miss it though.
Like I said, it's definitely like one of the top 5 cities I've just been to. Period. It's got like a good vibe. You know, it's really, it's walkable. It's nice. There's fucking beautiful dogs everywhere, like well behaved for some reason.
Yeah, that was really remarkable. So no one really uses leashes in Mexico City except for a few people, but all their dogs are well behaved and don't run into traffic. They don't like.
The dogs know. There's
Yeah.
like a dog culture in Mexico City where all the dogs are socialized the same way.
They're not like suicidally dumb like our dogs.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's just very cool.
The dogs are smarter there.
Yeah, but like you saying that it's one of your top 5. Like this is only the second time I've been out of the United States, and Paul, I think it's your first time.
This is
right?
the first time, yeah.
Derek, you've traveled a few fair places, right? Fair few places.
I've been around it. I'm telling you now, it ain't gonna get better than this, guys. You guys don't have to travel anymore.
All right, cool.
Excellent.
I think my favorite thing was whatever. Besides like walking around, the layout of the city itself is very nice. I like that stuff. My favorite thing is like I'm a hedonist. I like the food.
yeah.
Every meal we ate in Mexico City was fucking awesome. From the street
yeah.
level stuff just to like the higher end restaurants to the cafes. It was all great. I mean, I didn't get tired of it. I could eat just straight Mexican food for the rest of my life and not even remember that there's other shit, you know?
No.
Yeah.
Like, I think we passed by, like, there's a place that's like a Thai Vietnamese place or whatever, like a combination.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't need noodles. I could just not have noodles for the rest of my life. If I was in Mexico City, I would just forget, you know,
Yeah.
that that's even a thing.
It was amazing to me, like, the ratio of the quality of the food compared to, like, the cost of it. Because, like, when I immediately got back to L.A. and just had to pay, like, fucking $18 for a sandwich, I was like, oh, yeah, paying for food is a problem here. I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really good. I want to go back. I don't want to be here
You
anymore.
can just, like, get an apartment and, like, circulate and just share it.
I think so. I think we could just make like a podcasters commune in Mexico City. you
Yeah.
know?
Why not?
Yeah.
We'll rent an apartment. It'll be like a timeshare. We'll each have it for 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is cool though about like the visa, like coming from the U.S. You can stay there for 6 months for just
It's probably even
No
nice in the
reason.
winter.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I don't even know how cold it gets in Mexico City in the winter because we were there in March and it was 90. So
yeah.
the weather's great. The city layout is great. Infinite good things to eat.
Infinite, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I had a good time. I mean, also, I never really traveled with such a big group.
Yeah, you really pulled this one off, man. It's like a lot of people.
I mean, I didn't, but a lot of people said yes.
Yeah.
So we had like 10 people there that we knew all together, or was it 8?
8, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Not all at once, though, but
Yeah.
there were a few nights where we had everybody,
yeah.
and that was really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't think everybody would say yes, so I just invited as many people as I could. Basically, everybody I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome having a big crew. But at our Airbnb, most of the time it was just 4 guys, and it was kind of like having like an adult sleepover or something. Be out all day, walking around, eating shit, and we get back to the apartment and watch Face Off.
Yeah, it
Or
was tight.
what else we watched? We watched the John McAfee documentary.
Yeah, that was
right.
good.
Yeah, that was good.
I would describe him as a bit of an eccentric.
He's a genius. He invented that fucking software we all hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once you reach a certain level of intelligence and wealth, you realize that the only cool thing is sexually is eating girls' shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I missed that part. I was in the shower during that, but it sounded really cool.
Cut a hole in a
I had
hammock.
to take a shower after I heard that. So,
Let a girl shit in your mouth.
pretty good.
It's like after all the caviar and wine and going around the world on yachts, you're like, I want to lay underneath a hammock in, what was it, Belize?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was Belize, yeah.
And let a girl shit in my mouth.
Yep.
That's where it's at.
Yep.
Bill Gates is too stupid to figure that out. He's just being a regular billionaire like a moron.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like starting initiatives to like cure diseases or whatever. Fuck that.
It seemed like he was in the process of like taking over the Belize police force.
Yeah, he
Like,
was.
And then he had to go and murder a guy and get kicked out.
He murdered a guy
So now
in
he's like-
self-defense because the guy murdered his dogs.
Yeah, he was poisoning his dog, so he tortured him to death with a taser.
Normal response.
A normal thing for a normal
He
guy.
basically did the John Wick thing, and everybody loves John Wick. So
That's
I don't
right.
know.
I mean,
Well, society, please decide what the fuck.
Well, he was also like, yeah, he took over, like, he kind of almost took over the Belizean government, and then he, like, came back to America and just, like, didn't mention it, and then ran for the Libertarian Party. Just, like, cool.
yeah, he's still running, as far as I know. He's like both for president and like literally running from the police.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew all the murder shit, but what was more interesting to me about the John McAfee thing was like how earlier in his life he like built that yoga retreat.
Yeah, that was, like, totally out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
And he wrote, like, 6 books about yoga, like, very long, lengthy books.
And they interviewed people that like were his yoga students, and they're like, "Yeah, he was enlightened." Basically, the idea is like he became enlightened, and then he lost his way. But here's my thing: is like, what if he's still enlightened?
Yeah.
What if he
What if he's more enlightened?
what if he got to the dark truth
What
of
if
life?
he's too enlightened?
What if he's too smart and
Yeah.
like it's not that he's crazy. He's like the Joker from Batman. We're crazy. He's the one. He's too sane.
Yeah. He's got the damage tattoo on his forehead.
He got to the dark truth of life, which is, you take over the Belize government,
Have a lady shit in your mouth.
have a lady shit in your mouth, build a pharmaceuticals lab,
Oh yeah,
fill it with beakers of like
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid,
yeah.
food coloring, pink and blue water. Guy rocks.
Yeah.
What were we talking about again? Mexico City?
Yeah,
That's right.
We did some other stuff in Mexico City, but I'm starting to forget what it was.
All I can remember is the movies we watched.
Yeah. King of Comedy, that was good.
That was good, yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite things?
You
Yeah.
said the people.
Yeah.
I said the food.
Oh, what else is there? The grass, the trees.
Paul likes the grass.
The people and the food were very good. The Airbnb, that's good.
It's all turning into a blur.
Yeah. A very good blur.
Yeah.
I just remember I liked it.
I did like the blur, yeah.
Was there anything you guys wish we would have did, but we never got to?
I kind of wanted to see a beach at least once.
We're like in the middle of the country, though. We were
Well,
so
yeah,
far
it
from the
would have
beach.
been a trek, but
Well, there was talk of a Oaxacan day trip. Didn't pan out because there was too much to do, but I think that would have been something
Yeah,
interesting.
we fucked up by being in a city with too much to do.
Yeah.
So we never got the urge to
Yeah.
really leave it.
Yeah.
I mean, you also mentioned that you wish you would have learned more Spanish.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think that would have been cool. I was surprised because in Mexico City, for some reason, I had the idea that more people would speak English, but not really. There's a pretty small number of people that actually were speaking English.
yeah.
I mean, just my experience traveling in Asia and Europe and stuff, it seemed like a lot of people speak English to try to sell you shit. But even the people trying to hawk things at you basically only spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish I knew more Spanish
Yeah.
too.
Well, especially after we hung out with those Austrians, I was like, fuck.
Those smug bastards.
I know.
Well, I mean, they have a lot more room to learn languages given that they don't have any emotions. So they don't have that part of their brain. It's easier for them to.
Yeah, yeah. No, they just lock themselves in the room with a nutrient-rich paste and a book of Spanish and
Yeah.
just get to work.
Yeah, I would really like to go back, but it's really convenient. I mean, it's 3-4 hour plane ride.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it.
Sure. Yeah.
I'd recommend it to myself. I hope I do it again.
Yeah.
Also, me. I would also recommend it.
But I mean, it was your first time out of the country.
That's
I mean,
true.
How did it compare to New Jersey? Yeah.
More or less vibrant than Newark.
I haven't been to Newark very much because it's not very good, but
Better or worse than Delaware?
a little better,
Slightly.
you know.
Very similar. Hard to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you want to drive your car around, Delaware's the state to be. If you want to drive around, do loop-de-loops around fucking Applebee's and Staples and all that good shit.
And I do.
And yeah, you want to go to Delaware, but
Yeah. Certainly a lot better than Southern Illinois. Yeah.
It's kind of easy when the first time you traveled was in this big group where you know a lot of people.
yeah.
I think somebody said we should make this a yearly thing where we just get a big group of people and go on some kind of fucking. I mean, I wouldn't give a fuck if we went back to Mexico City every time, but it would be cool to have some kind of, I don't know, yearly trip.
I don't know. I'm definitely doing more trips. So
I'm not planning on having any kids, so
Yeah.
This is going to have to do.
These trips are your children.
Yeah.
The podcast is your children.
here's another idea that could go with the yearly trip is we could also do one of those contracts where whenever one of us dies, everybody splits up their stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like a trust, like a death trust.
I don't know if that's legal, but
Eh,
we don't have to let the law in on this, you know.
Yeah, whatever. It's like a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah,
That's right.
that way we can all be in our 80s scheming how to kill each other. Oh, we went to Thailand last year, and Kevin had a scuba diving malfunction.
Someone dropped an anvil on his head underwater
He accidentally harpooned himself in the back.
37 times. Then he spit on himself.
Then he pissed using my urine on his face. Yeah,
You hate to see it.
you hate to see it.
Yeah.
I still haven't learned how to fucking
Oh, man.
wrap these up. But any final thoughts?
In conclusion, Mexico City is the land of contrasts.
Do you have any final thoughts that are better than that?
Mexico City, it's good. Come on out. We got good food.
When you're here, your family.
When you're here, your family.
Listen, guys, no matter how bad this podcast episode is, don't let it color your perception of our trip to Mexico City, which was good.
Listen,
Yeah.
we're going to burn this after we're done recording.
That's right.
No one can know.
We'll burn the laptop,
We're going to up the fumes.
burn the microphones too.
Huff the fumes, get high off of it.
Go to Mexico City.
Suicide by cop.
Yeah.
All right, Paul, Kevin, thanks so much.
Thanks
And
for having me.
as we say in Mexico City, Hakuna Matata.
Yep.
Yeah. Bye.
See ya.
aloha, lo siento.
I don't
What-
know the Mexican goodbye. I didn't pick it up while I was there, so
Adios.
sorry. Adios. That's it. Pretty good. You nailed it.
Max. There you go.
Yes.